Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an introduction to RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. My name is SmileyMK93, and here we are in the game. Now, you'll notice that RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, you'll know rather, has featured in the past on this channel. Well, this is the sequel to that title, RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. It's a bit of a departure from the first two versions of RollerCoaster Tycoon. A bit different graphically. A few more rides, kind of different gameplay altogether almost. But of course the core aspect is the same, and of course there's a few new features, one of which is the ability to ride the rides. There is a ride camera that you can use, although how well it performs is another matter. So let's take a look at the game and see if it's any good. Just press install there. Oh god, that panda doesn't look very good, does he? Okay, welcome to the install stream for RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. But never mind that. Why are his legs going through the floor of that train? You notice where my cursor is on the right. And he's got no hands. I've only just realised that he's got no hands, and his legs are going through the floor. And the two people above him in the next carriage, in the same carriage, also have their legs going through the floor and no hands. God. And also it looks really grainy. But let's continue. I consent to have surrender all my personal details and life story to Atari for all eternity. While installing that folder, RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 setup is performing the requested operations slowly. Oh, it's doing it. It is doing it. Sort of. Yay, blank screen of nothingness. Oh, there we go. Improved menus and interface to Fireworks Mixmaster, which doesn't work. The terrain, which, I mean, the water looks pretty, but the terrain looks bland. And good luck actually building your coaster. I think this is a bit of an unrepresentative photo. Those of you who played this game will know that really there should be a big grey wall where the path of the coaster is carved out the terrain, because you really can't build close to the terrain in this game. It just doesn't work. And oh god, what on earth is wrong with this guy's chin? Sweet Jesus. That's literally the biggest. The guy at the front and the back show looks stoned and has a horrible enlarged chin. The guy in the back just looks weird and sort of a different kind of stoned. And God, the people are awful. Absolutely awful. You have to laugh at this. Create the park of your dreams. Start from scratch or load an existing park. So one of the features of this game is that you can load a park or create your own. Revolutionary. It's really revolutionary. And you can also create some horribly rendered trees and some paths. And you can use those paths, which you have to either carve out of the terrain, because the terraforming. I mean, you can in this game does let you terraform freely. Unfortunately, building close to the terrain is, as those of you who have played this game will know, is nigh on impossible. Either it just carves out a huge chunk of the terrain, or it just won't sit on the terrain, and you end up with this horrible elevated sections which just don't work. And now we come to this spooky themed Ferris wheel, because this game has a few themes. You've got generic, western, spooky, space, and there's one other one which I can't remember. The idea is that you build all these you have like a themed area, and all your rides in that area should be within the same theme, and if you don't, you just get confused. Then you have these themed rides, one of which is this Ferris wheel. No spider on the front, slightly wonky tail, I don't know what the name of that brown bit is, and those, yeah, you have those, I don't know if they're supposed to be cocoons representing the cars of the Ferris wheel, but my god, what a mess those things are. I mean, what the heck do they even look like? They're awful. What is that blue light doing on the right? Just sitting there on its own. One of the features added to this game from RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 is that you can add lights to rides, so mind you, and whilst the idea of adding lights to rides sounds cool, it really isn't. It isn't in practice. Because the lights look like that. That literally looks like I drew a little blue splurge with the watercolour feature on MS Paint. And secondly, because if you do go onto night mode to show off your lights, your game will lag like shit. In fact, even if you have more than a few rides, your game will lag like shit, because this game is piss poorly optimised. As any of you who have played this game will know, after a few rides it just becomes a bit unplayable. Whereas RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 is a bit more forgiving and can handle a bit more. In fact, RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 can handle quite a lot more, as long as you don't run out of landscape data or anything like that. So, yeah, seems to be stuck somewhat on this bit, installing enterprise.common.ovl. Presumably that's just one of the object files. I know the Enterprise is a ride. So yeah, in summary, this is an introduction to RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. Basically, this video is a rant about how it's not as good as RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, especially now that OpenRCT2 is a thing. It's just an inferior product. I mean, graphically, you can see that for yourself. It looks grainy. Half the rides are cartoonish. The people look... Well, you saw how the people looked. I mean, even the graphics weren't that bad on the PS1. Heck, Spyro and Crash... Heck, the people in this game remind me of the enemies on Crash Bandicoot, like people like Nitrous Brio and those creatures. Those people in the lab, the last level. The only difference is in Crash Bandicoot, the people actually look like people and not horrible mutants, horrible polygonal mutants with ridiculously large chins and expressions that look like they've had several doses of hard drugs. And of course, Crash Bandicoot actually runs smoothly, unlike this game, and has a bit more variety in this game. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there's an expansion pack in this game where you can build swimming pools and underground paths, because of course they couldn't be bothered to put underground paths in the whole game, or didn't want to because they could charge people more money to do it. Unlike RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, of course, we can just build tunnels to your heart's content right from the start. Oh, not good. What was I? Yes, you can build swimming pools. We haven't seen those yet, but you can build them. Only trouble is there's very little customization. So, all of your pools are going to look virtually identical and generic. And of course the swimming pool ends up coming up in all the scenarios because of course it does, even the ones where it doesn't fit. God, I don't know what's going on. This is taking quite a long time to install. I mean, this must be one big file. If you have the I forget the name of it. There's another expansion pack called I can't remember what it's called, but in the third expansion pack you can build. Sorry, second expansion pack. The first one you can build the swimming pools and the underground paths. The second one you can build zoo. You can build like animal enclosures and zoological themed rides. Which is quite a nice feature. Until the animals start eating each other, of course. And until you see all the animal shit which you have to get gatekeepers to pick up. So basically it's just a decent little feature. It's a bit of a gimmick and it's just trying to be zoo, just a slightly inferior version of Zoo Tycoon, even though I've not played that game. So just to recap, this is an introduction to RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. That is a cartoonish Ferris wheel, which is very representative of the rides and shops in this inferior version of RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. And yes, the graphics really do look that bad. I mean, I'm shocked. A game that came out 5 years after RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 looks worse than RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. I don't know if you noticed in the last screenshot they showed there was, but the grass just looks so bland. And uninteresting. Really, the only interesting bit of the terrain is the water. Which, to be fair, looks really good, but the rest of the terrain just looks bland and uninteresting. I think that's RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, where it looks vivid in RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. More vivid. I'm pretty sure you have no fewer options for customization on RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 that you do in RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. Oh, wait a minute, we've got a message. What have we got here? Component transfer error. Component euro, file group euro, file d:/data2.cab. That's a cab file apparently, whatever the fuck that is. Error, data error, cyclic redundancy check. My limited knowledge of checksums and things like that basically suggests it's gone wrong. So basically this game won't install. This game, which is older than Cities in Motion 2, which runs on my computer. This game, which is older than Cities Skylines, which, albeit slowly and horribly and unplayably laggily, will run on my computer. My computer being a Windows 7 PC with 8GB of RAM and a TB hard drive for any of you who are interested, which is well above the minimum specification for this particular title, which is, as I consult the box, Windows 98 or XP. Pentium 3 processor, I don't know how good that is, 256 megabytes for XP, and 800 megabytes of hard drive space. I think my computer might just be a bit better than that, but still. So it's not my computer that's shit. This game is too shit for my computer. It's like my computer knows that this is inferior to RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, and so won't bother installing it. I mean, let's say you have £10. You can go on Amazon and buy this. Or, you can go on Amazon, you can search for RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, which isn't a piece of shit, which does install on this computer, which does run on this computer, and is actually a good game in pretty much every conceivable way. I said a good game in every conceivable way. What I meant to say was, it's a better game than RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 in every conceivable way. But then, you go online and you download OpenRCT2, which gives you things like the tile inspector and all, and cheats and all these lovely things that we're going to showcase when I eventually get back to RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 on this channel. And you download that and you install it, and you will have a good time. A much better time than you'll have on this piece of shit when you're trying to where your shops inevitably won't align with your pass on anything other than paper flat terrain. And if you try to build it, and trying to build a coast to coast to your terrain will cause it to carve up horribly. So yeah, in summary, this game's a piece of shit. Go and get RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 instead, it's better. That was an introduction to RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. It's a piece of shit. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Smiley MK, and I will leave you with the fact, and I will leave you with a shot of this game taking forever to close itself. Goodbye for now.